It is 1979, and by now, the insane popularity of Space Invaders was hard to ignore. Game centers were opening up right and left to house the machine, taking on the second name of invader houses. In Japan, the fever for the game was so high there was a shortage of 100 yen coins, that's worth 69 cents over here by the way, to the point a kid held down a bank to get himself some pieces to keep playing the game. Many companies wanted a piece of that killing alien pie, including Namco. As some of you might remember, this company got their first success in gaming thanks to the light gun game Shoot Away back in 1977, but they wanted more. They wanted to leave electromechanical games in the past, adamant to tackle actual video games. Video games would give them more profit and less situations of needing maintenance. Of course, it took only one movie to shift their focus. Yup, what else? It inspired Taito to create Space Invaders. So why wouldn't it inspire them? Kazunori Sawano, remember he worked on Shoot Away, was smitten by the cinematic space combat scenes in Star Wars, with his enemies originally being in the shape of the film's TIE Fighters. Of course, he had always on the back of his mind the motto of simple is best, but this time he was able to work with RGB color graphics and was the first ever to use a tile-based hardware system to create the game, using bit mapping. This special system was capable of animating multicolor sprites as well as scrolling, though the latter was limited to the starfield background, while the game itself remained a fixed shooter. Even new Lucas-inspired projects have their limits. You control the Galaxian, a ship designed specifically for the purpose of blasting bug-like aliens, and you are able to move the pixeled vessel left and right along the bottom of the screen. Naturally, you can also fire shots from the Galaxian to kill the aliens. However, only one shot can be on screen at a time. This forces you to time the shots carefully. The alien formation appears at the top of the screen and moves from left to right. After a few moments pass, one of the aliens will leave the formation and dive towards you. This alien will always come from the left or right edge of the formation. The attacking alien will try to destroy the Galaxian by firing missiles at it, but it can also do so by colliding with the ship directly at the cost of its own life.
Kamikazes at 2 o'clock!
If the alien manages to reach the bottom of the screen, it will return safely to its original spot in the formation. Occasionally, one of the two boss aliens, or galbosses, taking the term boss from American cinema of course,
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
as it was culture restoration time after World War II, will leave the formation accompanied by one or two red aliens if there are any. If you manage to shoot down the boss alien, not only will you receive a large point bonus, but all other aliens will stop attacking altogether for a short period of time. The boss alien is worth more points if it is accompanied by red aliens, but destroying one in this state is riskier due to the extra missiles. When most of the aliens have been destroyed, the survivors will break the formation and start continuously diving and firing at the player, only relenting when the Galaxian is lost. After the final alien is destroyed, you get a brief break before the next formation appears, and there are 4 types of aliens you need to take down. First, there's the red alien, which, of course, accompanies the boss alien. They only dive if the boss dives. Purple aliens move fast, so try to keep up with their flight patterns. Blue aliens are just the basic grunts, taking on enemy fire like shields. Last, but not least, is the boss alien or gal boss. That is the ultimate prize to take down, as it stops surrounding aliens from moving briefly for a free kill. But if it survives the last round, it joins the next wave. The team made absolutely sure that each enemy type behaved differently for a more character-driven experience. This arcade title was notable for being the first ever to champion the almighty sprite, allowing them to create individual objects on the screen whose coordinates can be shifted around, requiring much less overhead for the brains of the system, and it was known as Galaxian. September 15th, 1979 was when Japan experienced this now important classic, followed by February of 1980 for America. And of course, it was a huge hit. It was the second highest grossing arcade video game of 1979 and 1980 in Japan, and the second highest grossing of 1980 in the United States, where it became one of the best selling arcade games of all time, with 50,000 arcade units sold by 1982. After Galaxian hit the arcades, Atari had a piece of the pie and ported it to their own machines. After all, Namco did in fact own the Japanese division of Atari, so then naturally Atari would have them on their 8-bit computers in 1982. Then on the 2600 in April of 1983, and the 5200 also in 1983, as well as the VIC-20. Then on January 30th, 1984, it graced the MSX, followed by the Famicom on September 7th of 1984, then succeeded by the fabled Famicom Disk System in July 20th of 1990. Praise Discoon! And the Game Boy in 1995. Honestly, it's been all over in terms of console play.